Back, and it's now time to get interactive because you are on the most authoritative platform. Joy News Interactive, and Jennifer Jane is here looking sweet as always. I like your new hair.
Yeah, I like it too.
It makes you look sleek.
Makes me feel funky.
Really?
Yeah.
So what are we interacting about?
Well, social media is buzzing on Ghana's Freedom Party's Akua Donkor. She joined President Mahama's entourage to Italy. Why did she go? Well, she tells us herself later on in the show. But you have also been making some very interesting comments. We'll get to those also later on in the show. There are prophets and there are prophets. But how can you tell the difference? Also trending on social media is the way the head of the International God's Way Church, Daniel Obinim, rid a man of his impotency. That's an interesting one, I tell you. And Finance Minister Seth Tekpe gave a mid-year review of the budget. How much do you care about that? We'll be finding out who followed the live broadcast of the reading. That's all coming up when I get back. My name is Jennifer Jane Asante, and this is Joy News Interactive, sponsored by Airtel. All right, so you know how you can reach us. I'll tell you more about that later on in the show, but just a quick reminder for now. On Facebook, it's Joy News on TV. That's how you can find us on Facebook. On Twitter, it's the same Joy News on TV, where we tweet with the handle JNInteractiveGH. Our email address is joynewsim@multitvworld.com, and on WhatsApp, use this number now, 0560 800,000. That's 0560 800000. If you're in our WhatsApp group, just send your messages there and I will read them for you. Now, the leader of the Ghana Freedom Party, Akua Donkor, has been making waves. She actually has a lot of people split on social media over her association with the first gentleman of the state. Now, Madam Donkor was recently spotted in Italy as part of President John Mahama's delegation. She came back and granted the multimedia group an interview to tell us how the trip went.
And tomatoes, you may have a ni baby. Ya dear tomatoes, Uguano. Send tomatoes no crano. Ya what dear, fry. Ya what dear, young quay. Ya he shall be an idea.
The trip was an eye-opener. There are different types of tomatoes, some for stew, for soup, and for puree. We just don't know how to do this.
Yeah, well, yeah, what tomatoes, yeah, I did the panel. Make my biamba. As someone make a media bass of water, may water basses.
I am not with the NDC. I am still with the Ghana Freedom Party. But I don't mind being second for President Mahama to lead the country. The rest are bad and they don't deserve a place.
Now, if you're on WhatsApp or Facebook, I'm sure you've come across this picture. Let me show it to you. Aha. There you have it. That's Akua Donkor. And that there is one of our security men. His name is Paul, by the way. Now, he had the pleasure of meeting Madame Donkor when she came to visit Multimedia on Monday. And this is how he said that interaction went.
Oh, Akua Donkor, though she has been coming here, but yesterday was the first time I had the conversation with her. and she's nice. She's nice.
So, what were some of the things you were talking about?
Oh, she told me that she went to Italy with the president, and she showed me the experience that she got over there. She showed me some pictures and things that went over. She told me all about what went over there.
At Italy. So, tell us some of the things she told you, the experience and everything.
She told me, you know, they had some, you know, they have this thing. What do you call it? The food that he ate over there, she ate over there.
There are pictures on Facebook of you and her, and it's gone viral. Almost everybody's sharing that picture. You are sitting beside her, and she's holding a book.
Yes.
Did you realize that she had turned the book upside down?
Yes, she first turned the book upside down, and I turned it at the right position. But she turned it again, you know, there's nothing I can do again.
But did you ask her why she kept turning it upside down?
I didn't ask her. But you look as if she concentrated on the pictures.
Oh,
you know,
really?
she concentrated on the pictures.
So you want to say that she was not reading the book? Because I understand it was written in Italian.
Yes, it was written in Italian. It was written in Italian. But she concentrated on the pictures more than the, you know, the reading.
Interesting interview there. Let me give you our WhatsApp number one more time just so you can join the conversation. It's 0560-800,000. That's 0560-800000. Now, let's go on to, actually I do have some comments coming in on WhatsApp, so let me start with those comments before we hit Facebook. Maxi Mbimbila says, when governance is reduced to jokes and comedy, we see everything moving backwards. Look at our media review budget. Everything positive about the economy has been cut back as unattainable. What a Ghana. Okay, that was Maxi in Bimbila. Now, I'm pretty sure we've got some comments on Facebook, but Belinda says, if you think education is expensive, try ignorance. Moving on to Stephen on Facebook, says, surprise at those making hue and cry out of Akua Donkor's inclusion. Hey, let me ask you, what's the difference between Akua Donkor and Nanahado? Okay. Da Costa says, hey, President Mahama, why? What is the benefit of traveling with this woman? Hashtag God help Ghana. Mohammed says, which one is your problem? Is it the comedian or the politician? And I'm not sure which one of them is the comedian and which one is the politician, but okay. Alex Tete from Garo says, is she forming an alliance with the ruling NDC party? Hypocrisy. Kofi Nyako says, the president and his team simply don't respect Ghanaians. Ghanaians, wise up. Don't be deceived by these crooks during election time, because you're going to suffer consequences when they get the nod. Hey, okay. Seek Truth says, Ghanaian leaders are full of comedies. I wonder if the leaders work at Comedy Central. Isn't that a bit harsh? Okay. Eva Adodakun says, why are you talking like that? Are you saying Akua can't travel with the president? It looks like there's a conversation going on there, but we'll skip that and move straight on to Marcus Garvey's legacy. And he says, I think some people think because they have classroom paper education, they are better than those who couldn't have it. The woman, to me, I think, has better ideas than some of our so-called intellectuals. It's time to involve ordinary people in the markets and streets in our economic decision-making process, and they may have the better ideas than we all, those who run to our offices with ties every morning. And there is more of a discussion going on this thread, but we're skipping that as well. And I'll read one more. All right. Obed says, maybe Madam Akua Donkor's parents were not so rich like ours to educate her like some of us. I ask, how long are we going to insult her? So only the few educated guys have the right to be on state-sponsored trips? She's also a Ghanaian. And he goes on to talk more about that, and that has also started its own conversation. You can continue the conversation on Facebook or join me here in the studio via WhatsApp. A couple of comments coming in, I'll just go quickly there. Someone is saying, okay, well, you didn't add your name, so I won't read that one. And Godwin at Dabuasi says, Akua Donkor, Ghanaians, we are wise now. And one more. Fidelis from Drapa says, This is interesting. I'll tell you what is interesting. The Finance Minister, Seth Terkper, gave the mid-year budget review in Parliament earlier today. Now, the presentation is the first major policy statement after Ghana signed up to an IMF bailout program. Did you follow the mid-year budget review?
Today, I didn't follow it very well due to doomsday and all about. You know, with this doomsday, when we are coming to work, we are even feeling boring. So whatever goes on in the country for us to monitor, to educate our children, we can't even follow.
In other fact, I went to school and there was no television there, so I couldn't.
But you could have monitored it on radio.
In fact, I forgot. In fact, this time we are not interested because the economy is not improving. So in fact, when they are doing such things, we seldom listen to it. We don't listen to it because of what is happening in the country.
From my own personal view, I think that the government is not being fair to Ghanaians because this is not the first time they've reviewed budget. And besides, nothing good has come up. Nothing really good. Trust me. The nation keeps going backward day in, day out. And it's not helping any one of us, seriously.
We've not seen any results out of it, you know. And it seems we keep repeating the same mistakes over and over again, you know. So until the time when we learn from what we've done wrong and correct them, we will still go about these things the same way.
Actually, I don't have time watching such programs. Even television, I don't even have time watching it because of even the light off issues. We can't even have telly to watch. But some important programs that you think to benefit you, you should be able to watch it. But this one precisely, I can't waste the time to watch it because I see, and I repeat that it will be of no results to me because day in and day out they repeat the same issues and then there will be no results at the end of the day. So they are our leaders, so whatever they say, we are in.
Well, if you want to join the discussion here in the studio, send us a WhatsApp message on the number 0560-800,000. That's 0560-800000. I mean, we had some pretty lackluster responses there. And from your response on Facebook, it doesn't seem like a lot of you were interested in the budget review either. As of 6 p.m., there were 48 likes, 37 comments with almost 8,000 people who had been reached on the story, with government seeking approval to spend an extra 800 million cedis more this year. Akua Donkor's post got 216 likes, 128 comments, with over 72,000 people reached. Wow. Let's take some of your comments on the mid-year review though. We've got Mohammed Tijani saying, upon the oil revenue we gain as a country, the $20 million which Bank of Ghana is injecting daily to stabilize the city, unnecessary bribing just to win the Talency seat, and above all, the wasteful use of taxpayers' money to send Akua Donkor to Italy, the government is still seeking for approval for this sum of money. Ghana must work again. Nana Yao says, hey Ghana, 800 million cedis more to spend? I'm dumbfounded with what is going on. Ghana is really sick. And Nantogma says Ghana needs more money for what? Unseen projects. These monies are just going to the pockets of our selfish and greedy politicians. God save Mother Ghana. Neodai says, Oliver, twist government. We shall forever need more money. Even you, the one reading this comment, you need more money. It is true. Huh? And then Brakweku says, God indeed needs money because Ghana indeed needs money because my allowances are stuck. And he is shaking his head. Okay. Got comments coming in via WhatsApp. Let's take a quick look at those. This one is from Lakers Inside Breakum. He says, we're even fed up with Ghana. Budgets day in and out, but nothing good comes out from it. Oh, that sounds like a lot of frustration. Okay. From Van Inwenchi, he says, Ghana indeed, We need more money to pay the ban switch saga. I see. Norpo, God knows Billy, says we're fed up with these jokes. Budgets to push more burden on us. Do we even have the electricity to listen to them? He's asking God to punish politicians, but well. Someone was asking why the money is needed, but he didn't add his name, so I'm not reading the full message. And to that, I would say you should have been listening to the budget review. But in case you missed it, pay attention to our bulletin later on at 8 p.m. That's Joy News Prime. They'll be talking some more about that. And again at 9 p.m. on PM Express. Francis from Boku says finance is nothing but a repetition of what he said last year. So, in order not to repeat myself, I'm taking a short break, and when we come back, we'll be talking about faith. So now let's talk about faith. What are some of the lengths that you would go to for a miracle? One man's experience was rather unusual when he attended a healing session with the founder and leader of the International God's Way Church, Daniel Obinim. The gentleman in the video you're about to see was said to be impotent. All right, so what you see is the pastor there delivering this gentleman who's lying on the ground from the spirit of masturbation. And that is a manipulation of his penis as part of the deliverance session. So let's take your comments on this issue, because people have been going crazy about it on social media. I'll start with messages from Facebook. I've got Richard Bauer, who says all should be allowed to do their work, but on the day of his second coming, we will get to know the good servants. Amma is asking why Ghanaians can't open their eyes to see this man is fake. Priscilla says maybe he's not impotent, maybe he's just gay, and the touch of another man did the job. Okay. Amma again says impotence. Do people know impotence with this? Okay. Victor is wondering why this man is still free. Suleiman Kasim says, nowadays pastors. All right. Okay. So there's still more comments, but Reverend Dr. Steve Wengam of the Assemblies of God Church this morning told us a little bit about how we can be a bit more discerning when it comes to issues of faith. This is what he had to say.
When God tells me, if I get a revelation about you, the first thing I have to ask, I have to cross-check in my spirit. Is it coming from God or is it coming from my soul? Man is a tripartite being. You are a spirit, you have a soul, live in a body. Sometimes your mind can play tricks on you.
Okay.
So I need to discern and be sure that what I'm picking, is it from my soul or it is from my spirit? After that, I need to find out the message I'm getting from my spirit. Is it, if I has Mama V, has he got the capacity to handle it? In judging the prophecy, you also want to find out. 1 Corinthians 14:3 says that prophecy is for exhortation, edification, and for comfort. If the prophecy comes to frighten you, the prophecy comes to discourage you, it cannot be of God. Of course, I reckon that it could be that, yes, the devil is trying to bring death on somebody and then the Lord will reveal. But in most cases, if it's genuine, it comes this way. Well, the Lord will show the person death and will show the person deliverance, will show the person how that God has equally delivered you. But if the prophecy comes and just says, you are going to die tomorrow, your marriage is going to be on the rocks, and leaves you just midway, it cannot be of God.
Now in Kenya, some members of a church there have found what they think to be the best treatment for their pastor after they had discerned. What he did must have been really bad for them to get angry like that. I can't tell you what it is, but I can tell you that interesting things are trending on Twitter.
Well, Akua Donkor hasn't been left out of Twitter either. She's been trending. And then there's a hashtag I read is when. Let's find out what the tweets are. First tweet is from Aidan Osam and is on Akua Donkor. Honestly, we need to get serious. No one is mocking her, but her remarks on issues just makes you wonder why government takes her everywhere. Okay, Aidan, this is another from July's Finest 31-7, and he tweets as Chief Mike Hughes. If you are good at finding mistakes in others, you must also be good at correcting your own. Okay, and he's quoting Akua Donkor. Okay, moving on, let's check out what the tweets are on hashtag I read is when. The first one is from McDevin619. Hashtag I read is when that Lumba wants to retire from music for Bisa K-Day to win Hip Hop Artist of the Year song. You over here. Next one is from Kobe Elikem, and he tweets at Jacob's Classics. Hashtag I read is when you have a signboard like this. Speeding hymns. Interesting. Very interesting picture. So at 60 kilometers per hour, the hymn is "It is well with my soul." And then at 80 kilometers per hour, God will take care of me. And then you move to 100 kilometers per hour, and it's "Guide me, O thou great Jehovah." 120 kilometers per hour says "Nearer my God to thee." And then we move to 140 kilometers per hour, and this is the hymn, "This world is not my home." Moving on to 160 kilometers per hour, the hymn becomes "Lord, I am coming home." At 180 kilometers per hour, hymn is "Precious Memories." And the final hymn is "Rest in Peace." And that's the hymn which is sung when you are traveling 200 kilometers per hour. Rather be safe than sorry. And this is Kwame Jr. Hashtag I read is when you wore this jersey but claim you are 30 years. Hey, and then you chuck your age plus tipper. Okay, final tweet on Akua Donkor is from Matthias Vifa. We couldn't pay our doctors for 10 months but can afford to take Akua Donkor on official trip abroad. Misplaced priorities indeed. Okay, Matthias. Well, so those were some of the tweets on Akua Donkor and hashtag I read is when. My name is Lord Asare.
Thank you, Lord. And Ghanaians have been remembering late President John Evans Atta Mills, who would have been 71 today. He was the former director of communications.
His former director.
His former communication of director.
Former
director of communications, Kokweni Daho, had been speaking about the late professor, but I don't have the time to show you that. What I do have the time to do is to say thank you to Airtel for sponsoring Joy News Interactive, and say thank you to Aisha for coming back.
And thank you to President Mahama for taking Akua Donkor to Italy.
My name is Jennifer Jane Asante.
And my name is Aisha Ibrahim. There are lots of programs coming up. Enjoy them.